I have something that does prove the defendant was at the crime scene during the time of the murder. Why didn't you bring it up? What? What is this proof, Mr. Payne? A witness. Someone who saw the defendant in the alley just before the deed was done. Then, what are we waiting for? Call the witness at once. Oh, boy. I wonder what you could have done. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Jutaro Akafuku. Akafuku? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm a salaryman. I don't know if there's a pun in that name. But if there is, I don't get it. Pleased to make your acquaintance. What a polite young man. I'm sorry to distract you from your work. Don't worry about it, Your Honor. It's no trouble. Justice must be served, after all. I'm adjusting my plans accordingly. This is cool that they've got, like, custom characters here with their own little sprite animations and stuff. How admirable of you to be so organized. But of course, I have rescheduled my day and taking into account the mail routes and TV schedule. My estimation is that this will be over in time for my magazine delivery as I tune into the afternoon news. Ah, so you're into knowing mail routes, are you? But that's only half an hour from now. Exactly. I've even accounted for a probable bus delay based on past traffic patterns. Very impressive. Now, is it true you witnessed the defendant at the scene of the crime between 4 and 6 p.m. yesterday? It is. Please testify to the court about this experience. With pleasure. Here we go again. Ready, Mr. Wright? Ready. Okay, I know this dude's a liar, so hopefully this time it'll actually be easier to call him out. Okay, spotting Makoto. I was walking home yesterday evening around 4:30 p.m. On my way, I passed an alleyway and happened to look over. There I saw two people talking, a male man and that boy sitting in the defendant's chair. I didn't think anything of it at the time, of course. But when I heard the kid was arrested, I knew I had to let the police know what I saw. So you see, the defendant was undeniably at the scene of the time, I was at the scene at the time of the murder. Yeah, that's about my reaction to that information too. This isn't good. If what he said is true, Makoto's pretty much a goner. Is there any proof other than this account that Makoto was seen with the victim at the time of the crime? As a matter of fact, there is. Behold, some thread. Not just any thread. These are glove fibers found on the victim's clothes. Glove fibers. We suspect they got on the victim during the struggle. How does this prove Makoto was the one who fought him? After questioning his family, we discovered that the defendant is known for wearing this colored gloves. Is this true, Komaru? Yeah, Makoto's gloves are red. Still, that in itself is a pretty flimsy argument. Countless people were wearing red gloves yesterday. Even one of my subordinates does. I didn't. My hands were freezing yesterday. I couldn't find my black gloves anywhere. I admit it alone it isn't much, but coupled with everything else we know, it's only another nail in the coffin for Mr. Naegi. Maybe someone else came and altered the crime scene before the police arrived? I'm afraid that's quite impossible. There were only two types of footprints found at the crime scene. One was proven to be the victim's, and the other was unidentified. If you couldn't identify it, how do you know they were the defendant's footprints? Because the defendant was at home when we arrested him. He had plenty of time to change or even destroy his shoes. That's such, speculation, man. What? But what we do know is that only two people were at the scene, the victim and his killer. Feels like every time I try to get out of this hole, I'm only digging myself deeper down. I'm afraid I'm inclined to agree that all signs point to the defendant. It's unfortunate, but sometimes people simply don't plan things all the way through. Like you. Mr. Wright, he has to be lying. There's no way he saw Makoto with Mr. Staffis. I sure hope you're right. I have a lot of evidence in the court record now. I'm going to have to scroll to see it all. Okay, let's do it. I have to find a contradiction in his testimony. Somehow. Okay, let's look at this again. What did you say? Spotting Makoto. I was walking home yesterday evening around 4:30 p.m. Are you absolutely sure of the time? Without a doubt, I plan my days with perfect punctuality in mind. Somehow, I don't doubt it. This guy probably accounts for bathroom breaks in his schedules. As within the time frame of the murder, so what exactly did you see going home? On my way, I passed an alleyway and happened to look over. You just happened to look over, eh? Why would you just look in an alleyway? Isn't it sort of tucked away? A bit, yes. However, I love to take in all the sights around me on my walks. Really? You, on such a tight schedule, just look around and see what's going on. I am a very observant person, you know. Uh-huh. Well, what happened after that? There I saw two people talking. A mailman and that boy sitting in the defendant's chair. Huh. Well, that's obviously got to be a lie, but is that what I need to press? Or present? Are you absolutely sure that's who you saw? Without a doubt, the spiky hair is hard to forget. Hey, you're one to talk. Everyone here has spiky hair. Except the judge. You're on thin ice, buddy. Is that a reference? No. I didn't think anything of it at the time, of course. There's no real point in pressing that, but whatever. So they weren't doing anything suspicious at the time? They were simply talking. Although it did look a lot like an argument. If only I'd known it would lead to something as abhorrent as a murder. So you didn't intervene at the time? Neither of them saw you? That is correct. So the struggle between the victim and killer must have happened after you saw this. Precisely. After I passed by, that boy must have violently shoved the victim down to his knees and delivered the killing blow. Something about that strikes me as odd. Should I have it added to the testimony? Yes. If they ask to do that, you probably should. Mr. Akafuku, I request that you add your last statement to your testimony. A waste of time, but alright, I'll indulge you. The defendant must have violently shoved the victim to his knees and hit him with the pipe. What is wrong about that, aside from it being wrong? Are we supposed to believe that given their size difference, Makoto was able to overpower the victim? From the looks of it, while he was tall, the postman did not appear to be particularly strong. It was very possible to throw him off balance. I'm sure even you could do it. You say that like Phoenix isn't buff. Look at that chest. What's that supposed to mean? But still, there's something weird about this part of his testimony. I just need to find the evidence that proves it. Anyways, to get back on topic, when I heard the kid was arrested, I knew I had to let the police know what I saw. I know what they want me to press on, but I just want to see this dialogue. How did you hear about the arrest? On the news, of course, which I do not plan to miss today, either. I hate to burst your bubble, but I intend to do exactly that. Mr. Wright, I think we have a problem. I couldn't find a single contradiction in his testimony. Me neither. Looks like it's time to press for some more. Okay, yeah. We already did that. Let me go to the thing they want. Okay, this is obviously what's wrong. Must have shoved the victim to his knees and hit him with the pipe. But how? That doesn't make sense, right? Like, if you shove someone, like, in front of them, they'll land on their ass, not their knees. But, I can't, like, prove that with evidence, right? Like, that's just, like, a logic thing. So I'm assuming there's something here that like, I have to actually present, obviously. The only thing I can think of is, like, it doesn't make sense for him to just be shoved and land like this, like, on his knees like that. That doesn't make sense. Like, if he was shoved. Like, that's not how shoving works. I'm just gonna do this and hope it works. Objection! Music stopped! I think I got it. Let me get this right. You claim that Makoto shoved the victim to his knees in the struggle, and then killed him with the metal pipe? Don't make me repeat myself. It adds unnecessary time to my plans. But yes, that is what I'm saying. Well, I claim that's impossible. How so? If we take another look at the knee prints found at the crime scene, I think you'll notice something rather strange about them. You don't mean... Oh, I do mean. Those knee prints are as clean as a whistle. There's no way they were made as a result of being shoved to the ground. Oh. I mean, I kind of had it because I was like, there's no way, like, being shoved would would do that, but I didn't think about, like, how clean the prints were. What are you saying? I'm saying that marks this clean could have only been made intentionally, by someone kneeling down of their own free will. But are you not the one who said the victim had no reason to kneel down like that? That's right, and I still stand by that. Which means the only person who had a reason to kneel down at the crime scene, was... It had to be the killer, right? Oh, an accomplice? It's probably the killer. Because I don't think there was an accomplice. That would complicate things more. I think it's just gotta be the killer, right? Obviously, the killer knelt down by the body after the murder. That's the only way someone could have left such clean prints in the snow. Oh, and I bet you it was to plant the note on the victim's body. That's probably why they did it. Why, to tamper with the scene, of course. They probably wanted to remove all evidence of their crime. No, I think they wanted to add evidence. Mr. Payne, for once, I completely agree with you. Oh, never mind. Aha, so you finally admit it. The defendant is guilty. I never said that. Take another look at the evidence we've gathered. All signs point to Makoto being the culprit from the note to the glove fibers. However, if he really was the killer who knelt down by the body to remove all traces of incriminating evidence... Yeah, it comes back to the blackmail note. And the glove fibers too, I guess, but I wouldn't expect him to notice that. Why would he leave such obvious things at the scene? Yarg! Very well then. Your Honor, if I may, I would like to propose my observed rebuttal to this absurd point. Very well. I don't see why not. Does the defense have any objections? None at all, Your Honor. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Bring it on, Mr. Observant. Okay, what do you have to say now? Witness testimony. Let's hear it. What do you got? Jutaro's theory. I understand you think the boy would have not missed such obvious clues. However, which is more likely? He is innocent or he is stupid? Or are you... Oh, that's literally what he's saying. Are you overestimating his intelligence? There are no other suspects. There are a number of things that point to him and him alone. That red-handed killer was caught red-handed. Okay. I'm afraid I have to agree with the witness. Given the circumstances, without a direct contradiction, there is just too much that lines up against the defendant to reasonably doubt his guilt. This doesn't look good, Mr. Wright. Tell me about it. We can't actually disprove any of this evidence. And without that, we can't challenge the eyewitness claim. Does that mean we lost? It's over? No, not yet. But I don't know what else we can do. We can't give up. I won't. Please, Mr. Wright, I know I'm not as smart or as talented as you or Makoto, but I can't lose my brother. Komaru. There has to be something. I feel like there is, I'm just not sure what. I feel that same way. There's got to be a contradiction, because I believe in my client. Komaru's determination proves it too, so if he's really innocent, there must be proof somewhere. At times like this, I just need to turn my thinking around. Instead of asking if there's evidence of Makoto's innocence, we need to assume there is and go from there. I just need to look over everything one more time. Even if it seems irrelevant, I can't overlook a thing. Okay, Phoenix, this is it. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, it's all over. The defense may now begin the cross-examination. Okay. Cross-examination. Okay, what do we got now? I understand that you think the boy would have not missed such obvious clues. Hold it. Slam. I don't just think it, I'm sure of it. Will you let me finish? I am not interested in your half-baked opinion. Right, continue. However, which is more likely, he is innocent or you are overestimating his intelligence. I was gonna say this was wrong because it's like, he's a Hope's Peak Academy student. Like, he's smart, but like, that can easily be countered because he was the lucky student. Like, that doesn't mean he's smart. I'd say the former. The boy is in high school. I doubt he has experience cleaning up crime scenes. Well, maybe, but I guess I don't want to imply Makoto's done this kind of thing before. Besides, if you simply look at the larger picture, there are no other suspects. There are a number of things that point to him and him alone. That red-handed killer was caught red-handed. Wait, hold on. I didn't press this one. Hold it. Are you sure there's no other possible culprits, like you? Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any leads on that? Well, no, however. Then I believe this case speaks for itself. Okay. The red-handed killer was caught red-handed. Hold it. Again, are you absolutely sure it was Makoto that you saw with the victim? Without a shadow of a doubt. Caught red-handed. Is that really true? Okay. I have an idea of what they want here. I thought I was stupid here for this one. Let me go back to what their thing here. So this is what I gotta press on. I thought, right, looking at the photo here, because, like, wait, no, not that one. This one. Yeah, he's not, like, those are black gloves. Or darker gloves. They're not red, right? I thought I was stupid here because, like, I'm partially colorblind, right? I have trouble distinguishing certain, like, darker shades of things. And I thought, oh, it was red. Maybe I was just stupid and didn't see that. But I didn't actually go back and look. I just took the game's word for it. Those are not red gloves. So this is definitely what I gotta present here. He was not wearing his red gloves at the time of the murder. They just said that he wears them often, but he wasn't wearing them yesterday. Mr. Akafuku, I'd like to thank you for knocking some sense into you. You're quite welcome. I see you finally realized what a waste of time going around in circles like this is. Very inefficient. Oh, don't worry. What I've got is something concrete as can be. If the court could please take a look at this picture. Look at this graph. Oh my, what a lovely photograph, isn't it? How wonderful to see the youth of today displaying such camaraderie. Indeed, Your Honor, but that isn't why I'm showing it to you. This picture was found on the defendant's tablet and was taken just hours before the crime. And what is it about this picture that contradicts the testimony? I'll show you. This is what contradicts the statement. It's his glove. It ain't red, bozo. If we take a closer look at this picture, I think we can all see a glaring inconsistency with our current knowledge of the case. What are you... Ah! No, wait! Oh, I see now. Could it be? That's right, Your Honor. Makoto wasn't red-handed at all, because his gloves in this picture are undeniably black. Hey, let's go. Impossible. They were red. They've always been red. This can only mean one thing. If only two people were at the scene of the crime, as we've proven, and the killer's red glove fibers were found on the body, then Makoto couldn't have been at the scene. Tell him, let him know. Order, order, order! But Mr. Wright, what does this mean? It can only mean one thing. Makoto isn't the killer. Then who do you propose is? There are no other suspects. No one else was even involved with this case. That's where you're wrong. There is one other person. It all lines up now that I think about it. Someone who planted all the evidence to frame Makoto, even going so far as to deliver the condemning testimony themselves. Your Honor, the defense would like to accuse someone else for the murder of Mr. Poe Staffis. Oh my, murder is a very serious charge, Mr. Wright. I implore you to think about this carefully. The penalty will not be light if this accusation is unfounded. Understood. Our real killer has to be... yeah, it's gotta be this guy. Mr. Akafuku, you said earlier that the defendant's gloves are red, is that correct? Of course it is. I saw them myself. I admit, Makoto's gloves are red. His own sister confirmed that to me earlier. Aha! So you admit it. He was the one who touched the body. He was the one who killed him. Nope. Quite the opposite. In fact, I believe I know who did. There's only one person who had reason to be so sure that Makoto's gloves were red. To even go so far as to wear the same color gloves when committing the same crime to frame him. Someone who planned everything perfectly, who observed every detail in advance. And who had no reason to lie about the glove color except to cover their own tracks. Mr. Akafuku, you're the only other person involved in this case. It could only have been you. Ah, no, that's not... Then how did you know the defendant's gloves were supposed to be red? Yeah, exactly. Inconceivable. Perhaps it was a lucky guess, or he simply got the color mistaken. He himself claims to be incredibly sure and observant. And after seeing how detail-oriented he is, I find it hard to believe he'd mess up something so crucial. Which means there's no way he actually saw Makoto that day. It's all one big fat lie to cover up his own crime. Ugh. Ah, how interesting. So you truly insist on wasting more time? I don't think it's a waste at all. We've already proven only 2 people were on the scene. Quiet. You're just going to put your foot in your mouth and... Ah, that's it, the foot! What about feet? Ahem. If you'll permit the return to a previous topic, why are you so sure the other set of shoe prints aren't the defendants? Am I sure of that? No, I don't know what Makoto's shoes look like. Let me look at the evidence again. What do the footprints look like? I don't know. They're too, vague to really tell. They just look like ordinary footprints. I would say, no, I'm not, and, let him keep going with this and then disprove him, but the fact that, the option is no way makes it seem like I'm, confidently, not sure. And I don't know what that means. There's that picture. I love that picture. It's so good. I'm gonna bluff. I'm gonna pull a Phoenix Wright. I'm just gonna bluff my way into victory, because that's what Phoenix Wright does. I'm probably gonna get penalized for this, but whatever. Yes, because Mr. Wright, don't tell me you're bluffing. God damn it, she knows! She knows! Not this time. There is something, I just need to figure out what it is. That's, the definition of a bluff. Okay, if Makoto's innocent, that means these prints aren't his. And to prove it, we need to examine the footprint size, the footprint pattern, the footprint color. Well, the color is obviously not right because it's snow. The footprints don't really have colors. The pattern makes sense to me because, we could easily look at their shoes. Size could also be a factor here, if they're different, but pattern is more of a surefire thing, because, what if they have the same size shoe? Let's go with the pattern. We should examine the pattern of the shoe prints. We already stated the defendant could have changed shoes between the crime and his arrest. That is true. The pattern is impossible to match now. Dang it. Okay, then let's try looking at the size? Could it be the what does that mean? Footprint color? It's just, no, I keep opening this photo accidentally. I need to go back to this one. It's just in the snow. It just made a mark in the snow. I can't possibly see how color has something to do with it. It's gotta be size, right? It's size. I request the court examine the size of the shoe prints. Did they not do that before? The size? But why? You didn't look at the size? You thought about, oh, well, we can't, there's no point looking at the pattern because it could have changed shoes, but what, doesn't that apply to the size too? Gosh dang pain. Because there's a correlation between shoe size and height, is there not? Is there? I don't know, I think you could still be short and have big feet, but whatever. And these prints are basically the exact same size as the victims. I find it hard to believe that someone as short as Makoto would have the same size feet as him. Which can only mean that the killer and the victim are approximately the same height. This guy is pretty tall. Order! I will have order! And if we use Makoto as a comparison, we can see that Mr. Akafuku fits that criteria perfectly. Ha! You. Yeah, what... Whoa! Okay. You insolent lawyer, you're so sure of yourself, aren't you? You think you can discredit my perfect, flawless testimony? I think not. Oh, yeah? Then what am I missing? No. Aha! Motive, of course. Yeah, let's actually talk about that, because I want to figure that out. That is true. The witness had no clear reason to murder the victim. That's right, I'd never even spoken to the man. Why would I want him dead? Watch it be because, like, he didn't get his package on time. And this guy who's all, like, concerned about his time and his schedule was so pissed off that his package was slightly delayed. That'd be funny. Shoot. Well, it certainly seems that way, but... Think, Mr. Wright. There has to be something the victim had that Mr. Akafuku would kill for. Literally. She's right. I've come too far to back down now. Given the state of the crime scene, we've established there was a struggle between the killer and the victim. It's got to be like a letter, right? It's got to be a letter, because the mailbag was open when they found it. And I don't think, like, it's possible it came open during the struggle, but I think it's more likely that he took something out of it, because, I don't know, there's probably some blackmail for him in there that ended in the victim being struck and murdered. If there was no previous connection between the two people, then whatever the killer wanted had to be physical. And what do you propose this was, Mr. Wright? There's only one logical thing it could have been. It's got to be the mailbag, right? What evidence could the killer have been after? Has to be the mailbag. Mr. Staffis was a mailman, correct? And his mailbag was found open at the scene of the crime. That's because it fell in the struggle. That's what we all assumed, but look at it again. Doesn't it seem a little too neatly open for it to have been an accident? Yes. Consider this. What if the killer opened it themselves? But why would they do that? Simple. To retrieve whatever was inside. That would explain it. Ah! Mr. Akafuku, you've proven to this court that you never let a detail slip by. If you wanted something inside this mailbag, I don't doubt you found a way to track the package or letter. Didn't you admit earlier that you track mail routes? That's what I said! That's what I said! I noticed! Yup. He's a nerd. You likely confronted the victim, and his refusal to hand over the bag led to a struggle. It was then that you saw the metal pipe and decided to force him to abandon the bag. By taking his life. Uh-oh. It's not breakdown time, is it, right? We still probably have to prove, like, what he was after. Murder? Me? How foolish. It's over, Mr. Akafuku. Just admit you were the one to... It's not over. I refuse to accept this. Somewhere, there has to be a... Aha! There! There's a conflict in your schedule. Argument... Your Honor, I'd like to testify again as to why the defense's claims are utter lunacy. I don't see why not. Proceed, Mr. Akafuku. I've got him backed into a corner now. I can't let him get away. Alright, what do you got this time? This has got to be the last one, right? It's got to be. Rescheduled testimony. That picture may show the defendant with black gloves. However, we have no idea why he wasn't wearing his usual color. It could have easily been a trick to throw us off. From whom would he possibly attain black gloves like that? I know who. Without answering that, your case is as flat as paper. Okay. Alright, Phoenix, this is it. How do I prove that, though? Like, Phoenix doesn't know Kyoko. If I can just come up with one last explanation, it'll all be over. I know the last puzzle piece is here somewhere, I just have to put it in place. I believe in you, Mr. Wright. Finish this for my brother and for Mr. Staffis. The defense may now begin the cross-examination. Okay. I am going to still press everything, though, just because it's what I like to do. Rescheduled testimony. Okay. Oh my gosh, this music. This was not what it was during the actual testimony. This is crazy. Whoa! This music is really good. If you don't believe this picture, then I suggest you ask the people in the photo. I'm sure they could confirm if he really was wearing these gloves that day. Shut your mouth, I'm not finished. Your Honor, are you just going to let that slide? The witness will watch his comments. I guess he will. That was the weakest slap on the wrist I've ever seen. Was it, though? You've seen a lot of slaps on the wrist from the judge. We have no idea why he wasn't wearing his usual color. Oh, gosh, the music, man. Maybe he couldn't find his gloves. Even then. Could have easily been a trick to throw us off. From whom would he possibly obtain black gloves like that? Without answering that, your case is as flat as paper. Okay, wait, hold up. I keep forgetting to press. There had to be someone. Well, who? Hold on. Didn't I hear someone mention something about this before? I need to try and remember. Before this guy blows out his vocal cords. Then answering that your case is as flat as paper. Is now really the time for jokes? Shut up! Okay, touchy. You've got this, Mr. Wright. Just think it through. Easier said than done, but I'm on it. Okay, let's continue. I don't want to counsel yet. He's been jerked to throw us off. Okay, this is what we want, probably. Let me look at our evidence here, because, like, we don't have a profile of Kyoko, right? No. We just... Oh, no. I keep clicking the wrong thing. We can't see... We can't see her gloves in this, can we? It does not look like it, so I don't... Because, like, we, the player, know that Kyoko wears gloves like that. But, like, we can't prove that here when, like, the only one here who knows Kyoko is Makoto and possibly Komaru by association. So I don't think... It can't be as simple as just presenting that photo, right? This is the only thing that makes sense, though, is presenting this. And we just have Phoenix, like, go off the assumption that he borrowed it from one of his friends. Right? That's the only thing I can think of, because nothing else seems to contradict that. And this is, like, the only evidence that relates to Kyoko in any way. So I think it's gotta be... I'm just gonna go for it. Objection! No, music didn't stop! God damn it! Wait, did I present the right thing? I might have... I pressed the right photo, right? Yeah, okay, that was the one I hit, I'm pretty sure. What else could it be, then? What else could it be? I hope I didn't, like, accidentally present the wrong picture and that's why it messed up, but... Wait! Did he take it from Komaru? Am I thinking of this wrong? Was it not Kyoko's gloves at all? Because, like, didn't Komaru say something earlier that, like, Makoto takes stuff from her room? But, like... Did Komaru say she wears... She did say she wears black gloves, didn't she? Didn't she say that? I probably can't go back that far in the log, right? Yeah, I don't think I can. But didn't she say she wore black gloves? I thought it was Kyoko. I was thinking of it all wrong. It's Komaru. Objection! Oh my god. I really thought it was Kyoko. I was like, how am I gonna prove it's Kyoko's gloves? Wait a second. There might just be a place, or rather, a person. Someone who told us earlier that they so happened to be missing their gloves yesterday. Oh, no, she didn't... Oh, no, she did... Okay, she did say black gloves. But she also did say that she didn't have gloves yesterday. I forgot all about that. And that person was Komaru Naegi, the defendant's younger sister, who's also standing right next to me. Ah! The music, man. Since they're siblings, both have easy access to each other's belongings. My guess is Makoto couldn't find his gloves that morning and decided to borrow his little sister's. That's why his gloves were black that day. Oh my, I will say, as far as siblings go, that's a more than likely scenario. Still! You have no proof that they steal from each other like that? Yes, I do. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because proof is exactly what I have. Impossible! There's no possible way! Yes, there is. Then allow me to convince you. This is my proof that Makoto and Komaru have access to each other's things. That isn't just, Komaru's testimony, because she's standing right next to us, but whatever. We'll present the monopad here. My, what a fancy contraption! Is this what kinds of gadgets the kids are into these days? No. It's not just a gadget, Your Honor, it's a monopad. A school-assigned tablet that belongs to Makoto. If it belongs to the defendant, how did it end up in your hands? It was lent to me by Komaru Naegi herself. who took it from the defendant's room. No! Way to go, Mr. Wright. As you can see, the siblings can, borrow things from each other easily. So that explains why Makoto had black gloves instead of his usual red ones. No, 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 no! But you, Mr. Akafuku, didn't know this. You had likely discovered the defendant and the victim's connection and studied them both well in advance. You did this to be able to frame Makoto for this murder, should you need to resort to killing Mr. Staffis. Which ended up being exactly what happened. You kneeled in front of the body and planted the blackmail note in his pocket, leaving behind fibers of the red gloves you intentionally wore. And you almost got away with your perfectly planned crime. However, there is one thing you couldn't plan for, no matter how hard you tried. The unlucky chance that Makoto would be wearing different gloves that day. Oh, of course it's gonna come back to luck. Uh-oh. Well, Mr. Akafuku, do you have anything to say for yourself? Luck. Luck? That's what it came down to? My perfectly perfect plan? Foiled? By... luck? Uh-oh. No. No, what does he hit? What does his paper say? Must be a way to fix this. If I move the gloves of the snow, but then I have to find someone else to frame, and that would require so much more study. Perhaps I should try and frame his accident, or news, or I should skip it for time. They would have moved my copy, breaking the stupid law, ruined everything. Stop it. Whoa. What does that say? Guilty? He's just scribbling the word guilty over and over again. That's funny. Well, this has certainly been an unexpected turn of events. Was it though? Mr. Payne, what has become of the witness? He's been arrested, Your Honor. Upon further investigation, he was discovered to have been part of an underground ring of thieves. Ooh. Okay. And there was indeed a package containing an incredibly valuable gemstone missing from the victim's mailbag. The police will be searching the witness's home where they suspect it was taken. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems you've done it again. Thank you, Your Honor, but I couldn't have done it without the help of my assistant. Huh? Me? Indeed. Excellent work, both of you. In light of recent events, I am now ready to hand down my verdict. This court finds the defendant Makoto Naegi not guilty. We got the confetti? Yeah! We did it! You did it, Makoto. Court is adjourned. Jeez, I took quite a lot of penalties there. That was kind of tricky for a first case, some of the logic there. Ugh. But we made it through. I'm still not over me thinking it was Kyoko's gloves, man. I thought that was the cute thing in the picture. It was like, oh, she lent him her gloves. But no, he just stole them from Komaru. Oh, okay. What do we got? I can't believe it. You did it. You actually did it. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, no sweat. I was only making buckets of it back there. Mr. Wright, can I ask you something? Did you really mean what you said earlier? Huh? In the courtroom, about me being helpful in solving the case. Well, yeah, we couldn't have done it if you didn't tell us about your gloves. Of course I did. Without you, we wouldn't have had the final evidence we needed to prove Makoto's innocence. Really? Definitely. Here, let me show you. If you hadn't, borrowed this item, the trial may have ended a lot differently. It's just the monopad again. Yep. Huh? The monopad? This had that picture of Makoto on it. And without you telling me about your gloves, I might not have made that connection. Do you mean it? I don't go to Hope's Peak like my brother or anything. I'm just a normal high school girl, the little sister to someone special. Of course I mean it. What school you go to doesn't change the fact that I couldn't have done this without you. Don't let some title hold you back. Your actions are what counts, at least in my book. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'm glad you're our lawyer. You know what? Me too. Komaru! Makoto? Hey, there he is. Makoto! Ah! Look at that! That's so cute. That's so adorable. Oh. I meant it when I said I couldn't have done this without... Oops, sorry. I accidentally scrolled. I ruined the moment! I meant it when I said I couldn't have done this without Komaru's help. It was her determination to save her brother that led to this outcome. This is why I became a lawyer, to help people like them. Aw. Komaru, Mr. Wright, thank you so much. Anytime, Makoto. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. I'm going to tell everyone at school how incredible you were in there. Oh, I love this sprite of him. I think that's an edit. I don't think that's... It might be in some, like, the island modes or whatever, but I think that's an edited sprite. It looks really cute. Really? At Hope's Peak? Of course! My friends are going to hear all about it. Wow, thanks. I just hope he leaves out the bluffing part. Speaking of, I think this belongs to you. Oh, my monopad. I figured you'd want it back. I can delete all the evidence on it before you go. Actually, I want you to keep it, Mr. Wright. Really? Huh? Really? Are you sure? Yeah, I can get another one from school. Really? Okay, well, if it's that easy, think of it as a thank you for helping us out. Are you sure you don't want to, like, delete all your stuff on it first, so you don't have, like, this old man going through your pictures and stuff? Okay, I guess not. Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Wait. Yeah, maybe I should keep this thing somewhere really, really secure. I'm sorry I took it, Makoto. It's okay. Sorry about your gloves. You should be. My hands were freezing, Makoto. I thought you had a spare pair. I lost it a few weeks ago. How was I supposed to know that? I'm still telling Mom. Hey, wait! Is she gonna be more concerned about him stealing gloves than being accused of murder? Okay, Komaru. And with that, my first case involving the students of Hope's Peak Academy came to a close. I went back to the agency with a smile on my face, but little did I know that this wouldn't be my last time meeting with Makoto Naegi, because sooner than anyone could have expected, that school would be the center of another incident. The end. Oh man, I'm so excited to figure out what's going to happen next and how they're going to continue tying these worlds together, especially if the next murder is going to actually be at Hope's Peak like they seem to imply. But I think that's it. I'm clicking some more. I think it'll just stay on this end screen forever, probably, if I had to guess. But yeah, I think that's it for Case 1 of Ultimate Justice, or Ace Attorney Ultimate Justice. Wow, that was so much fun. I really love that. That was so good. Huge shout-outs to everyone involved with this. Barbie, of course, let me go back to the credits. Barbie, the director, Matt, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, I'm sorry, Madino or Madino, the artist, apparently. Really amazing job on the art. The art was so beautiful. I'm just like, wow, that was so fun and amazing, and I really loved it. I am looking forward to seeing what comes next from this project, and if this interested you and you didn't actually play this yourself, but I really hope you played this yourself before actually watching my reactions to it. But hopefully, it's piqued your interest, and now you are going to support them and all their future endeavors, because this was great. Please go support them. A bunch of links and stuff will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and yep, that's it for this video. Bye-bye!